Hey guys, Hair by Jess here, and welcome to episode 4 of the 30-day self-isolation eye makeup challenge. And as you guys know, we're going to go ahead and get into a outline look today. Before that, I had no idea what I was going to do other than it being an outline look as far as the colors are concerned. This is the Nicka Nicka palette that I'm using, the Pretty Glam palette that I am using. These are the two palettes I'm using consistently throughout this challenge. So, you know, I'm always starting with NYX's eyeshadow pencil in the color Milk. And that fine brush there to act as my eyeshadow base. So we're going to start out with outline. Why can I talk? I'm going to use this method like I did in episode 3 to just draw out and set a foundation of an outline pattern before we begin packing down eyeshadow. And so that's what you guys will be seeing throughout this process. So I sped up the real intricate parts. But as always, you guys know I will chime in whenever necessary to kind of clarify things. So I do hope you guys are doing absolutely well during another day of self-isolation. I do hope you're finding something productive to do. I also do hope that you're taking this time to get closer to the Lord. Seriously, I sincerely do. So back to the eyeshadow look here. So I'm trying to make sure these things are even and they kind of look off to me. And so that's where I spent most of my time before I even went further with expanding the territory, the space at which I was going to apply more of my eyelids to try to even this out. So it made me a little OCD, and I'm like, goodness, I almost want to redo it. I'll be honest with y'all. Like, look, I'm like, sis, to myself, this does not even out. I am not going to apply this eyeshadow base, which is an eyeshadow pencil in the color Milk. I'm not going to apply. I'm just going to start over. That was my thought for a while, because here I am trying to work this thing out here, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to make sure this looks really intricate and detailed and, you know, perfectly precise. Here I go again. By the way, make sure bottom left hand corner you smash the following buttons there: like, comment, subscribe. If you think of a friend that you want to inspire to do this challenge, make sure you shoot that over to them, share it, hit the share button. Also, when you hit the subscribe button, hit the post notification bell. That's just to make sure you don't miss the next episode after this one. Thank you in advance. And as you can see, I'm using my sponge, which I've already has been drenched in, and I erased it off, so I had to do it again, that little tail end of the wing. But I've been throughout this process, I do use a sponge and a sponge already absorbed with my foundation to kind of clean up any messes where I may be out of shape with the brush or go a little overboard, because as you can see, eyebrows are done, foundation is done, I've put on my setting spray, I put on my setting powder. Everything's done on purpose, so that way we can just focus on the main objective of this challenge, which is the eyes. The eyes have it. So I'm just trying to even this out here. And here in this next clip, I decided to add a little bit more. So this isn't the finished outline, but it's beginning to build up. And I'm really at this point just winging it according to how I want it to look and according to how I'm applying the products that I do have. And if you notice where my brush is going, it's going in those parts where my skin is showing. That's where I've used my foundation, NYX's Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and Deep Espresso. And that same fine brush, and I had to wipe off the excess of the that white eyeliner pencil I was using. You guys are seeing that, the foundation I'm using, to just keep everything cleaned up, so that way the parts I want to stay looking like my skin stay there, and the parts that I want to remain ready and primed so to speak for my packing on that eyeshadow stay separate. So wherever I've applied the white eyeshadow pencil stays white, wherever my skin is showing stays skin showing, as far as my eye area is concerned. So I'm going back in again, I'm getting really precise and really particular, because I don't want this to wind up looking uneven, crazy. The part where my skin is showing, there's some residue from when when you open your eyes wide and you forget, and you put eyeshadow base, do like what I'm doing right now at this moment, and you forget, and some residue gets on there, and you forget to clean that up with foundation, concealer. In this case, I wanted to be foundation because I didn't want to use concealer to kind of highlight that, because I wanted my skin to be a stark contrast on purpose to the colors I'm using. So speaking of the colors, we're going in with that yellow, but the lower lash line only. So we're going to go in and pack in that yellow. Now, you're going to have to cackle at this next part, because I feel like the color yellow is absolutely complimentary for those girls, for those women with melanin. So shout out to the chocolate girls. I'm on the team as well. Do not be afraid of yellow eyeshadow. You just have to have the right products. You just have to have the right techniques. That yellow, when it's done right, oh baby, it looks absolutely amazing and brings out your melanin complexion even more. All right, Ty. So that's me after I've packed on that yellow eyeshadow. Now, as you can see, you guys, my right, you guys left, I had to wind up cleaning up more, so I went back in with that fine brush, that same fine brush I used to put down my eyeshadow base, and just kind of clean up where I've packed down that eyeshadow, yellow eyeshadow as well. So I'm just using that to clean that up, even above that line where I've packed in that eyeshadow, yellow eyeshadow, by the way, because I still want to make sure that everything's pristine and it looks neat once I'm done with this look. And I had put a little bit of this stuff at minimum on the top of my hand, but it was beginning to like dry so fast, because this foundation dries really fast. You have to work really fast with it. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna use the brush and to squeeze it a little bit to take from the applicator of the foundation bottle and do it that way, so that way I have less of a mess to clean up off of my hands once I'm done. And I'm working on that other eye too, to clean up that area that I want to stay with my skin showing. And you want to make sure that you have positioned yourself in front of your mirror, much like you see me right now. And just kind of pull back your eyes to kind of lay flat, so that way you can clean up that area that you want to stay with your skin showing, in contrast to where you're going to pack on that eyeshadow. Now the next I want to use that top part, and as you can see, also that's what I want to pack in that top line, that pink color. So this is a bit of a springtime look, springtime edgy look, whatever you want to call it. In the corner there, remember how I had applied on my eyeshadow base, quotation marks, where the top line and the top line just above my crease, and then the yellow winged part. Remember how they were connected at the inner corner of my eye? I decided to use the foundation like what I'm doing now to clean that up, so that way they appear as two separate lines on my eye. So one just above the crease and one right above that extends a little bit outside of my top lash line, if that makes sense. So it become two separate lines from how I originally prepared for it. Also, you guys just saw I used Starry's cream eyeshadow, this beautiful golden brown color. I'm putting that in there to kind of highlight my inner eye corner here, but I'm going to intensify it in a little bit, because I feel like even though this is a pretty color, with such bold colors I'm already using for the Pretty Glam palette, that beautiful champagne color, I go over the top to bring more boldness and shine to that inner corner. Now what I'm doing here, I'm using the black from the top of that Nika NICKAK Perfect 40 palette, and I sprayed, I didn't include this in here, otherwise footage would have been really long. I sprayed my Maybelline's Lasting Fix Setting Spray on there to line the lower lash line with that black shadow from that palette. I'm using Luminesce's Distraction Mascara. Use this at least handful of times. I don't understand the part about why it's named Distraction Mascara, but it makes my lashes look divine. Yes. So I absolutely, positively love it. And this is the final look. So also, I know I've not mentioned this in the last two videos with this particular frontal lace wig, but that is from a company where I bought the frontal and bundles from Amazon. I've had this for just over a year, and it has held up pretty well. Other than that, I do hope you guys sincerely have enjoyed episode 4 of this challenge. I encourage you to try it on your own while you're watching with me to see what I will come up with next. And until next time. And you know, I was about to close out this video without telling you guys what lip gloss. Come on. I'm using Ruby Kisses lip gloss and the wand. You can find this mostly in the beauty supply stores. Do not risk it. Now, no, sit it down. Don't go nowhere. Do not go anywhere. That is in the shade, if you want to call it a shade, strawberry. It smells like strawberry. It don't taste like it, so don't try it when you do get it. But until next time.